Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Comics Only, the only podcast where comedians talk with other comedians about comedy. My guest today is comedian, writer, and one of my favorite people in the Valley, Vera Funny. Is that what you want me to call you? Or Vera Maria?
I don't know if I've dropped the... I feel like I'm ready to drop the funny.
Yeah.
I don't know,
you should just go by Vera Maria.
Vera. I like just Vera.
Yeah, Vera's nice. I mean, I kind of like can't stand how many people just go by one name. And it's like...
Really? You don't
like
that?
Why?
How many Veras are there?
There's no Vera, so that's different. There's somebody going by one name that's just like a normal name right now. And it's
really? Like Tom?
Yeah, they just said they like didn't want their day job to like get mad at them for doing comedy, so or whatever. So they didn't add their last name. It's like just make up a last name, just something that sounds kind of good.
Yeah, make your stage name how you want.
But like, I don't know. My thing about doing comedy is like, there's like kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's not true, and maybe that's just how I'm thinking about. For me, it feels like there's certain things that like when it's not normal, it kind of creates like a weird, like, why is that different?
Okay.
Like,
So like
in a weird way, comedy
names.
is about like matching to people's expectations. And whenever you do something like even as simple as just like, I'm gonna go by one name, everybody else goes by two, I'm gonna go by one. Yeah. It's like, okay, why are you being different?
Why you gotta be special?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this probably just me being a weird like conformist.
Okay, maybe. I like
there are a lot of comics that go by one name.
Oh yeah.
Godfrey.
Oh yeah.
Carrot Top. Maybe that's two. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's one word.
One word?
Yeah.
Carrot Top. It probably is.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
So maybe I'll do a poll and ask people: is the one word thing bothering you, or is it totally fine? It does look weird on a poster. It looks really weird on a flyer.
See, little shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like,
yeah.
And then, I don't know. There's you just like one name.
Well, somebody told me that if you call yourself funny, you're not funny, and that stuck in my head, and then I couldn't get that out of my head.
Yeah, that would immediately
really,
make me stop going by that.
Yeah, so Vera Maria is fine, but like, there's no other Veras, so I kind of feel like it's easy for me, not...
it is easy for you, for sure. Vera Maria sounds nice.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try that for a while and see if you like it.
Maybe one person in the audience will catch on that I'm Mexican. By the Maria.
Yeah. Are you Mexican?
I am. I'm
no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. People always, by the way, I sound like a Karen, right? A little bit.
You sound like a white woman. Maybe not a Karen.
Exactly.
But,
I sound like a white woman.
You sound like a cool white lady.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know why I feel that way. There's other things that people don't do that I'm like, I'm trying to think of a good one. Actually, I don't know. I don't really care about shorts on stage. Do you care about that?
I don't care about it.
Have you heard about, about that?
I didn't know about this.
Okay.
Is this a thing?
Yeah, especially I think more for like men than women.
Right.
I think like, because like women can also wear dresses and skirts on stage that maybe it's a little less jarring to see them in shorts.
It's a little less weird to see their legs.
Yeah.
But a guy, you're like, whoa, legs.
It's kind of weird. There's definitely like an unspoken rule or whatever. Yeah. And I think it mainly applies to guys that you don't wear shorts on stage. And people like give you shit. But also people do it a lot, especially here where like...
6,000 degrees?
Yeah. It's 115 degrees outside. Like some people are just not going to give a shit.
Yeah, they're just too hot. I think. Do you think it has something to do with like they don't want people seeing up your shorts because we're below the audience is below you?
Yeah, and also just like knees are distracting in a weird way. Like
are knees distracting?
Yeah, I don't know. I've definitely had the experience of like seen someone on stage and they're wearing shorts, and I ended up like looking at their legs more than listening to their jokes, and was like, oh, that's kind of like why that's a thing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of like shoplifting.
Okay.
Shoplifting is all to get away with what you need to get away with, which is kind of like telling a joke. Mm-hmm. I've compared these two things a lot in my background. I was a big shoplifter, if you don't know.
Oh, nice.
Right when I quit
think I heard
math.
that.
Yeah, I was really into it. To get away with shoplifting, what you have to do the entire time is like, you need to look like you're doing what any other shopper would be doing. until the moment you're not. So like how my shoplifting method, how I would go in with a basket and I would start grabbing anything I want, just like any other shopper, and doing a lap around the store, not going to specific places for specific things.
Okay.
Just doing a lap and grabbing whatever I wanted, but knowing there was a certain place that I wanted to like
definitely hit up.
Yeah, for sure. So I'd get everything I wanted, and then I'd have Walmart bags in my pockets.
Oh.
And I'd bag everything up in the clothes aisle where cameras couldn't really see me.
Okay.
And it kind of looks like I'm just like fiddling with my basket if somebody walks by.
Okay.
People are like, a lot of people saw me and never
alerted the authorities
or questioned. Even people who work there, a lot of people saw me and just like thought I was just messing with my basket. Like they couldn't see between the clothes to see that I was like bagging things up.
Okay, I got you.
And then so once I was there and had everything bagged up, then I hit one of the aisles as quickly as possible, which I'd already made sure was clear.
Okay.
And then you just walk out of the store, and it looks like you just, because everything's in bags.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
They're going to stop you if everything's just in the cart.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. That was a really long story to say that, like, doing comedy is kind of the same way. It's good to, like, seem like how you're supposed to seem until that moment when you need to break away. And that kind of is what creates the, like, punch.
Yeah, the twist for everybody. The twist. I only did shoplifting when I was, like, 12. I would wear baggy clothes and go into, like, the Circle K and put, we didn't have Boone's Farm. What was it called? Bartles and James wine coolers down my shorts. And wear, like, a big baggy T-shirt and then rock out
that's
like
that's a good method.
Yeah, it worked. And nobody, look at this face. Like, come on. Who's going to, even, and especially at, like, as, like, a 12-year-old, I was so innocent looking.
Oh, my God, you were 12.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
That's so ballsy at 12. Man, it took me years. It took me literally doing meth to start shoplifting. I was scared of it for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to Criminals Only. How long have you been doing comedy now?
Well, okay, so I don't know when you're supposed to, like, mark it, but I think based on my first show, that would be November of this year. It'll be 5 years.
5 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Your first show. So were you, like, miking for a while before that?
No.
Or that was, like, the first time you performed?
First time I performed.
And oh, yeah, 5 years. That's about where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that. I took that class from Deion Kincaid.
Cool.
That was my first foray. I hadn't done a mic. I hadn't written a joke. I didn't have nothing. I just took the class. Yeah. And then, boom, did my showcase, and I counted it based on my showcase, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, that's when you should count it.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. So you've been in Phoenix that whole time.
Yeah.
Has the scene changed in, like, any meaningful ways, or is it basically always been like this?
Has it always been awesome?
Yeah, it's so awesome here. I really love it.
No, I feel like it's changed in that there's more women.
Really? There's more women now?
There were less.
Oh, my God.
Me. I was getting booked like crazy.
Dude, I was at a mic. I was at Pub Rock Live like it was months ago now. But this woman, I think from LA or somewhere, showed up. And she was like, where are all the women at? Yeah. I was like, it's just you, buddy. Like, nobody told you this was a men-only mic. We'll make an exception, but...
Yeah, but don't do it again.
Yeah. Please don't come back. That's so horrible. No, it's so funny. I was just talking about this the other day. It's funny. Okay, I understand it's our fault to some degree, but it's funny how much men get blamed for how much women don't show up to open mics.
Right? Yeah.
She's like, where are all the women at? It's like, I didn't tell them not to come. Like, don't.
No, but it is weird. I mean, I've been at a lot of mics where it's just me, and then there's one other chick.
Yeah.
So, like, I go up and talk to her, and this one particular chick, I was like, hey, nice to see another woman, you know? Like, I was trying to, like, have a little convo, and, like, and she totally, like, blew me off.
Yeah.
So maybe it is not just the guys that are screwing it up.
That's funny. But also, God, you just hear the most awful things at open mics here. It's really crazy sometimes. So, like, I could see, like, I understand that, like, the rooms here and probably, like, between here and Florida, I would, if I had to guess, are, like, not super welcoming to women.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, there's definitely more women comics in the scene I was in before this in Eugene.
Oh, really?
Like way more.
Wow.
It's way closer to 50-50. It's still not.
That's amazing.
But like, it's
Even
not
if it was
that.
25, I'd be like, we'd be.
It's
happy.
probably close to 25% women, I would say.
You think here?
No, in
No,
Eugene. Or maybe even more than that. Probably more. I don't know. I'd have to look at a list, but
yeah,
probably 60-40 if I had to guess.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And like, I used to like really hate it when I was there because I was in it and I was experiencing the constraints of rooms that like didn't want to laugh at certain types of jokes.
Yeah.
But you realize there's a benefit to that. And the benefit is like everybody feels more welcome and is willing to participate in a scene more. And also like bars and venues are more willing to have comedy there.
Because there's more women and men.
If there's more women and men, and if like you're not saying like crazy awful shit.
Right. No, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah. It's been a very interesting change in perspective, like coming from a scene where that was kind of like, it was very progressive. And like, they just like all the mics I did back in Oregon, like we had a little like spiel you'd give at the beginning where it's like hate speech isn't allowed here. And like, you'll get banned.
Wow.
So it's like every mic was do better, basically.
Nice. Okay.
That's
cool.
It is cool. But at the time, I was like, man, there's all these hateful jokes I want to tell that I'm not allowed to.
That doesn't bode well for your style comedy, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whatever. I'm always being ironic, but
yeah. No, I know that
when I'm being horrible. But
yeah, when you're being a horrible person,
people
on
don't
stage.
Necessarily care. Like I heard. Do you know the podcast Come Town? Do you know who Nick Mullen is?
No, I don't.
Okay, it doesn't really matter. Nick Mullen is a comedian with a super offensive podcast.
Nice.
And I heard him say the other day, he was like, yeah, we're being ironic when we're being racist, but does that really matter when real racists give us their money?
Oh,
I was like, at least it's like kind of self-aware about what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows he's on the dark side.
Yeah, kind of. It's like, I'm kidding, but I realize the people who like me aren't.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
No, for me, like, what feels weird, not just the male-female thing, is because I'm twice as old. I could be everybody's mother.
I'm sure that's hard.
Like, it feels weird because I was going to mics and not realizing that. And then I looked around the room and I'm like, there's a bunch of 22-year-old guy comics in here that I could be their mother. That is so weird. And so they're not going to get my jokes about menopause. You know?
Yeah, and that's like confounded by you being a woman as well. Like, I'm like 33, and I kind of blend in with the 25-year-olds pretty easily.
Totally.
Like a lot of people are surprised to find out I'm as old as I am, and I'm just like doing the open mic circuit.
No shame in that.
But it's just a little easier, I think, for guys. Like there's this. I was hanging out with like a 22-year-old the other day, and I hardly noticed that we were 11 years apart in age. Like, if I'm being honest, like we're just talking about basketball or whatever. It's just like
whatever. No, I don't feel older than everybody else.
No,
That's why
exactly.
It took me like a really long. I feel about 30. Like, I know. Don't laugh at that.
I'm not even 30.
I know. I feel 30 on the inside. Like, until I realized, like, I had to think about it. I forget that I'm older
I heard
than
some
other
comics
people.
talking about how hot you were the other night.
No
I'm
way.
dead serious.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that. I love that. Don't slap me on the ass, but like talk about how hot I am.
I've heard there's a list you'll make if you slap anybody on the ass. So definitely don't do that.
Definitely don't do that. But yeah, that is so sweet. I love that. I want to be thought people think I'm hot. You know, I don't purposely go on stage like looking. Sexy.
No, I don't think that's anybody's impression of you.
But like, it doesn't hurt.
For
That's
sure. There's people that do that.
Yeah.
And it's not you.
And I always look at them and I'm like, are we laughing at you or are we staring at your body? Like.
Yeah. I get it. And I mean, it's like, you don't need to dress down, but you know what you're doing.
You know what you're doing when you show up in a schoolgirl uniform, which I saw the other day at a mic.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah. I mean, it could have been. It was like a little tennis skirt.
That's awesome.
I was like, okay, well, we know what she's going after.
I bet all those laughs are real.
Yeah, totally. Everybody is fully paying attention to you.
Yeah, it sucks. Comedy is one of the only things where being hot like holds you back in a weird way.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I think, Well, like, and also being hot always helps you get advantages or whatever, but like holds you back in like, I think it's harder for like very attractive people and mainly probably more women to get laughs just because of what you said. It's just straight up distracting sometimes how beautiful some people are.
Yeah.
And if you're at that level, I'm just going to honestly have a hard time listening to you.
You're just staring and thinking about other things.
Right. Exactly. So that like right there is just harder off the bat. And then also I think there's like a weird thing where you like would have a hard time trusting everybody's motivations about shit.
Yeah, like why are you putting me on that show?
Why are you putting me on this show? Do you really want to write with me? Do you really think this is funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, all those things. Are you paying me this because that's what you think my comedy deserves, or because you want me to owe you? Like whatever, you know.
Yeah, I could see that totally.
All of like it's just I could see it making you second guess yourself and like just making it harder.
Yeah.
When like I don't have to question that.
Yeah.
Like nobody that matters wants to fuck. You know.
Are you sure?
I mean I have to blow Gene more to get on his shows, but you know. I was going to do that anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that guy.
I love that guy too. God,
dude, he told me the other day, he told me, maybe I shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyways. He's like, told me, he's like, I don't suck dick and I don't take it in the ass. I was like, you barely gay, Gene.
Yeah, he's only
what,
like
you like fucking some other guy's butt? Like, oh.
Well, when guys do anal to a woman, it's basically the same thing.
I've been doing a bit about that.
I know, I loved it. It was fucking good.
Oh yeah, it's okay. I have these certain bits. There's something wrong with me, Vera.
Yeah.
I have certain bits.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, right. Where if like a comic tells me they really like it, it almost makes me like not like them.
Oh.
About a bit that I wrote and enjoy doing. Yeah, there's something wrong with me. But like I'll do 5 minutes. And 1 minute will be like a pedophile joke, and a comic will come up and be like, I really love that pedophile joke. I'm like, did you? Cool. I'm glad that's what you took away from I'm glad I'm the pedophile comic. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just like, I did 4 other minutes too, dude.
Yeah.
That's what you took away? Yeah.
Maybe you're just feeling self-conscious about that.
Maybe a little bit. Probably that. Also, I'm mainly kidding. Like, I love anytime anybody gives me a compliment. It means something. But like I'm always looking to be funny and make a joke out of any situation. So it's like the funny thing in that situation is to be like, oh, did you? Yeah. Instead of just being like, thanks.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. Everybody does. Everybody loves that pedophile joke.
Yeah.
Which is not true.
I'm sure.
I don't know I don't know how many pedophile jokes you do.
Do you do that pedophile joke like at clubs?
Yeah.
You do?
I mean.
Wow.
Sometimes, it depends which joke. I have certain pedophile jokes I'll for sure do at clubs. Yeah. And when I say at clubs, maybe I'm just talking about the Stir Crazy open mic, which is a little different. Yeah. You can kind of do whatever there.
It feels a little looser there.
Yeah, they don't really care. But I have certain ones that I feel like comfortable, where it's like, I know this perspective doesn't make me look bad. Or like, that you just can tell that I'm kidding enough. Right.
No, that's
which should always be the case, but
Yeah, I found that I found myself writing jokes just for the open mics that I know I'm not going to do on stage.
I have a bad habit of that. But also, I'm of the belief you should always be trying to make the room laugh. I don't respect comics who go up at a dead open mic that's only other comics there and run 5 minutes that we've heard them do before. Yeah. Because they like need to get a rep in. Like, fuck that. Riff something. Say something I haven't heard before. Find some way to make this room laugh.
Yeah.
Even if you'll never be able to say it anywhere else.
Right.
That's more valuable than just going up and like reciting like your jokes that you've rehearsed, the ones that you know how to do. And it's like, we've heard this, and even if we haven't, we can see the magic trick. Like, practice riffing.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Every comic should have like bits they do where it's like they've written in parts that it's like you should riff or take different directions. Have you ever seen me? I was doing a bit for a while where I would ask somebody in the crowd. I'd ask the first person I'd point to, like, you, sir. What's the biggest age gap you've ever had with somebody you've had sex with? Mm-hmm. And they would say 10 years. And we, okay, how old were you at the time? And they'd be like 20. And I'd be like, oh, so you groomed a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, no, of course they were older. And then get into that a little bit. And then when you're done with that guy, be like, all right, who can beat 10 years? Yeah, and then you have another direction to go. And you get to make those same joke choices where you have the age gap and you have the age.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, and so it's a joke that I know I can riff out. That they're like, I don't know which joke I'm going to be able to do before I start it. I just kind of have an idea of which direction I can go.
Do you have like a handful of comebacks that are in your pocket?
Yeah,
and you're ready to go based on what they say?
Yeah, mainly, I'm looking for that age where the obvious choice would be that it was somebody older and then make a joke about it being younger. Okay. But sometimes the opposite's the funny thing to do. Sometimes they say it's 20 years. And it's like, how old are you? He's like 40. It's like, you fucked somebody's grandma? Like,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and like just basically what I said, that it makes it easy to riff because I don't know what's going to happen until I get into it.
No, that makes sense. I heard this like comedian talk about how doing crowd work, what people in the audience don't understand is you're going to get like 4 possible answers.
Right.
You're going to get, like when you ask people what kind of job they do, you're going to get something boring, so you have something for that. You're going to get something, unique, so you have like a comeback for that. And basically you just got to remember those 4 canned answers.
Right.
And then have them ready in your pocket. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about that. I'm in the audience sitting there going, wow, they thought of that right off the top of their head.
It seems like it. And the more you can add little like bits where you clearly thought off the top of your head. Like one of the reasons that age joke works so well is because it's just impressive if I can do the math right quick enough. Nice. Like they're like, he's deaf. Like he didn't know that 15 was going to be the age gap and that this guy was going to be 36. So the fact that he's like, oh, you groomed a 21-year-old, huh? Yeah, that quick, if you can be quick with it, that would just that is impressive enough that like they'll like kind of go with you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that you do that. That's cool.
Yeah,
I got to come up with something. Like I was making a joke about how many dicks, or no, I'm sorry.
Well, you should write that one down. That sounded like it was going to be good, whatever it was. How many dicks?
How many dicks? How many buttholes do you think the average person has seen? And like, and pretend like there was a study and they did like a survey and like, not counting porn, this is how many buttholes people have seen, but counting porn, this is how many buttholes people have seen. I feel like there's something there for me, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, yeah, you need a twist, kind of.
I do need a twist. That's my problem.
Okay, so I have a kind of a twist for you. So you could kind of like, you're going to have to like say at some point what the average butthole somebody has seen is.
Right, okay.
And then be like, I thought it'd be way more than that. Like,
oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Something
so like, let's say it's like 87 buttholes.
Yeah. Is the average?
Is the average.
You're like, is 2,000 not normal? Something
like
like the twist is that you've seen like an absurd amount of buttholes.
And somebody
and that you would expect that to be normal.
Yeah,
that could
like
be kind of
I
funny.
thought it was going to be that.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's cool. Somebody once told me if you're going to use a number, use an odd number because they're funnier. I don't know if that's true.
Let's see. That's interesting.
Like
I think there are times when it's like funny to be specific. I do a joke about a not true story,
right?
About a time I masturbated at work.
Okay.
But the joke is I masturbated on the clock today at a job that pays $20 an hour. Easiest $1.63 I ever made.
Right, instead of just $1. That's smart.
Right, because it's so funny that it's that specific to.
Yeah, I like that. You've never masturbated at work. That's wild.
No, I don't think so. I definitely don't want to admit to it right now if I have.
I'm kidding.
No,
I was sorry to put you on the spot there.
That's okay. At school, maybe that's a different matter.
There
But that's
you go.
not work. I wasn't getting paid.
That's true.
Yeah.
Only, the tax dollars were getting paid.
Yeah. 8th grade was a crazy year.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You
I
just
should
gave me
write
a
a bit
flashback.
about that. Yeah. God. Some kids got caught in this middle school. I wasn't there. I was at a private school until high school. But at the local middle school, kids got caught having sex in 7th grade. We're all in 7th grade. In the bathroom room. It's like, you guys are out of your fucking minds.
Yeah,
How are
they
you
are.
so crazy?
That is really ballsy.
It's so ballsy. It's
Oh my
like, you couldn't
gosh.
just wait till like after school
After
in the
school,
woods or something.
You
I
know,
don't-
somebody's parents are not going to be home.
Neither of their parents seemed like they were probably, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't think they had like good role models around.
Probably not.
No.
Their parents were probably masturbating at work at the same time.
Right. What were we talking about? Riffing and crowd work. Yeah. So anyways, that comics, I hate it when they just recite material in a room full of comics. Because
Yeah.
like that doesn't work. We've all done that and know it doesn't work. Even if it's a great joke. Like you can just kind of tell when somebody's like running material on you.
Yeah. I feel like they go a little faster.
Yeah.
That they're not pausing for jokes or laughs because there's no laughs.
Yeah, and like you can just like feel that you're like you have this memorized and you're telling it to me. I think I have so much resentment for it because I had such a bad problem with it for a long
you?
time. Yeah. I was so attached. Like I had a hard time riffing. I was so attached to like saying what I want to say and like how my joke goes in my head
Right.
that I just like
You couldn't get
didn't
loose.
realize what a disservice I was doing to myself by not breaking away from that.
Okay, that makes sense.
And now, as soon as I can tell that's happening, I start like doing something else with
okay,
my
that's
set.
smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. I've been trying to do like at open mics, do like new stuff that I just wrote that afternoon.
Yeah, that too.
thing.
That's kind of the same to me. Like, if you're saying a joke for the first time, that's not that different than riffing. You haven't really memorized it yet. You don't know like the best order.
Mm-hmm.
How, at least for me, how like writing, like figuring out a bit goes is like I kind of have this like idea or premise, and I'll write out like the most important funny parts, and then I'll say those. And sometimes I'll have got it right or right-ish. But sometimes I'll be like, oh, this part needs to go like before this part. This part needs to go back here. This needs to go here. And then you try the joke in basically like a different order and it goes way better. And you're like, oh, okay, this is how I need to say it. And over time, it becomes like the way you say the joke because you know it works the best.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have known that if you didn't do it a couple times on an open mic.
Right. Like trying it in different ways. So if you're in that process with a joke, that's different. You can do that in front of comics a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because they can't really like tell as well that it's like that. There's something about that rhythm when somebody's doing like recited material.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, I don't know.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
And it's weird because a crowd can't tell or doesn't care or whatever. If you can do that in Stir Crazy, and as long as the joke is good, they'll laugh when you expect them to. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
it's like they don't care if they can tell that it's recited or whatever.
I don't think a real audience can tell if it's recited.
I don't think they can. If
I don't
you
think they can.
write well, yeah.
Yeah, I think most people sitting in the audience who don't do comedy think, wow, I can't believe they're up there. They're talking in front of people. They're like not freaking out or having a panic attack. You know what I'm saying? Like most people are so in awe that you can speak in front of people anyways.
Yes, exactly.
like,
and if
whoa.
as long as you seem comfortable. Yeah, totally.
And even like the fidgety ones or the ones
that can be funny,
that
leaning
one guy
into
that one guy that does that with his hips. He just rocks his hips the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was in the audience with him, and he's one of my favorites. He's so funny. I can't remember his name, of course, but he's very funny. And the person I was sitting with goes, wow, he looks nervous. And I was like, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
To me, it was just like that's how he is because he's, like special and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't catch that. I didn't think he looked nervous, but the person I was with said she thought he looked nervous. And I was like, oh, I didn't catch that.
There was a guy doing his first set ever at Stir Crazy the other day.
Oh gosh.
That's a crazy
room to do your first set.
It's
like,
crazy. You don't realize, like,
it feels too professional to be like your first set.
yeah, right. I've said for a long time that, like, you should have to do 100 sets before you can do stir crazy.
That's fair.
And I'm not trying to be like a dickhead or exclusionary. People don't realize how much they would benefit them to be that much better at comedy before Lamar sees you.
Yeah.
Before Tom sees you.
For sure.
I mean, Tom doesn't watch the open mic there,
Yeah.
but like,
I was going to say.
as a point of principle.
Or whoever's.
No, he told me he hates it.
Does he really?
Yeah. Well, because like it's his club and like people bomb and he like feels bad that like the club's not getting the show they deserve, but he can't like do anything.
No,
and it just stresses him out. He's like, I'm just not gonna watch. It doesn't matter. Like people are gonna bomb. I know that, but like makes me feel bad. Like it makes it's his club, so he feels like he's bombing when some fucking guy who's been doing comedy 2 months bombs. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, he feels bad for the audience because they're paying. Like he probably feels this, like
yeah, that's crazy. It's almost like they should just book 7 good local comics for those shows.
Oh, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird idea.
No, I don't. Yeah. I'm not in charge of anything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But no, it is crazy that they let literally, like, this guy was doing this first set ever.
How did it go?
So nervous. It went horribly until his last joke, when he did a joke that I actually have, like, the same premise. I do, like, this exact same joke. Really annoyingly. He said we should get sex offenders to watch schools.
Oh, yeah. He
school,
said that?
Yeah, for school shooters.
Do you think he saw you do it?
No, I don't think there's any way.
No.
I don't think it's that, like, hard of a concept to come up with. My joke is way more fleshed out, and like, who knows if he'll even deep doing comedy. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just keep doing me until.
Yeah, of course.
If I see him at some point, I'll be like, hey man, I do a joke about this too, just so you know. Yeah. I had to do that with another comic at Stir Crazy on Wednesday. Fucking sucked. Savan Patel, who's super fucking funny. Yeah. You know him?
No, I don't.
He's not really around the West Side so much.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
yeah. Which you makes sense why you wouldn't know him then.
Yeah.
Aren't you usually out here?
I'm usually on the West Side, and also I suck at going to mics.
Sure, yeah. Also that. Yeah.
Because I get tired.
Yeah, he doesn't go to a ton of mics either, I don't think. But he's booked a lot. He's super funny. He did a joke about how he said he's talking about politics. He's like, I'm not on the right or the left. I'm non-binary.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, I think everybody should be able to own a gun, but I think women should be able to kill as many babies as they want.
Okay, I like that.
And I have a joke that's basically the same thing, where it's where it's like, I don't identify with either. All right, guys, we're back. I'm a terrible podcast host. We lost like 20 minutes of conversation, so we're gonna make that up for you. We have no idea what we said or not already, so it's gonna be really easy to keep talking.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's gonna flow.
You know what I was asking you about was advice for new comics, and you said don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. You know.
Look, being likable is 95% of being successful at comedy.
I think so.
I saw a comic the other day that like, I'll just say, like, not a ton of people, like, love him or, like, really like him. Or a lot of people have, like, poor opinions of this man.
Got you.
He posted a thing. It was like, I need to be more likable. I was fucking dying laughing. It was like.
That's so sad.
It's so cute. Yeah, that to show some self-awareness about that.
That's good. Yeah. But, like, what if he can't?
Yeah.
What if he's just unlikable?
Dude, some of us are fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough road.
Yeah, I feel bad. No, but I think part of it is just, you know, I mean, that's not, I mean, I was joking, don't be a dick, but like.
No. It's nice absurdly good advice for
to
real.
Other comics, because you never know who's going to have a room coming up. You
and
never know who's going to start a show.
We all know that feeling and have also probably been responsible for somebody else feeling that feeling of being dismissed.
Yeah.
It sucks. And as much as I know it sucks, I've definitely made people feel that way. Where it's just like, we don't have time for everybody, Vera. Yeah, like,
that makes sense.
It's just not possible. Yeah. We meet so many people. There's so many comics that do comedy 7 times and then never again.
Oh, yeah,
and it's like,
true.
I have to see a face quite a few times before my brain is like, all right, this is somebody that you need to like remember and was worth like keeping in your brain. Not because I'm trying to be rude, just because there's so many.
There's so many. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's always an issue. So I understand on some level that like people are it's always going to be that way, that like somebody's going to overlook you. Mm-hmm. There's so many comics just in the Phoenix comedy scene. Like if you don't reach out and ask to get booked, you won't. Even if you're super funny. Like
yeah, exactly. I mean, you will in the beginning because all your friends and family are coming and you're going to book like, you're going to have 20, 30 people in the audience. Yeah. That's what I had to learn, that like those slow down. Yeah. And then big time. Yeah. And then you're stuck with trying to find audience members.
I know, it's so weird. I was just talking to somebody about this about how like in the beginning, like your family and friends are there for like the beginning. Mm-hmm. But they're like not really there for the journey.
They're not.
And then they come back at the end, like when you're successful.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't know that. I'm not successful.
I mean, me neither. But like, you can imagine if you were, that like it'd be a lot easier.
Oh yeah, they
like,
hit me up.
If you like sold out a theater or whatever, it'd be a lot easier to be, hey, mom and dad, I got a show. I think you should come like watch. Like,
yeah, there you go.
Because even if they don't think you're funny, there's a theater full of people there to see you.
That's true.
That would be cool. I know my parents would appreciate that, even if they were like horrified by the jokes I was telling or whatever.
Do you think they're horrified by the jokes?
I think my mom would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
My mom was my biggest
horrified's
fan.
Maybe not the right word, but like, I don't think my mom would be like a fan of me. Yeah. Comedy wise, if I wasn't like related to her.
You think so? Like my mom. My jokes are pretty blue, and I'm talking about orgies and like all kinds of crazy shit. And my mom was there like every show that she could be there. She was like my biggest fan. She was
that makes a little bit more sense. How would your dad feel about it?
Oh my God, he'd hate it. Like my shirt right now says, "Your dad is my cardio." And my dad saw the shirt and he was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah. That's me. I'm your dad. That doesn't make sense." I can't do my dad's accent. But like real like advice that I have for like newer comics is don't let your depression get in the way of you running after stuff. Yeah. Because that's like a big part of it.
Oh my God.
That's also why I don't go to mics sometimes. I'm like, oh, I'm having a down day. And I'd be like, nope, I'm going to get there. I only have to do 5 minutes. I can do anything for 5 minutes.
Right.
I can do this.
Well, yeah, and then you just have to like stand there for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, while you're feeling depressed.
I love all the West Side mics because nobody comes to them.
They're a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's easy to get up. It's easier to get on early.
Yeah,
I'm out of Vigilas fast every week.
Yeah.
I gotta get up early on Wednesdays. So.
Oh, you do?
It's just like.
It all depends on my week, but I have to work early.
It's a late mic already, so.
Yeah, it really does start late.
Yeah, 9:30.
Yeah,
it's pretty late. Yeah.
No, it starts at 8.
Yeah, show up and sign up at 8.
Yeah, exactly. That's hard too. Like also like because I work, it's like I'm gonna drive across town in traffic for an hour and 15 minutes, and then to get there at 5:30 so I can get a spot before whatever time.
Yeah,
and then wait 3
the
hours
popular
for it to
mics
start.
like Wayward. Wayward's like the only one right now, but. Yeah. I guess Bullshooters kind of, and Bogey's probably.
I haven't done Bullshooters. Should I do that one?
Yeah, I go. Yeah, it's fun.
Are there any women?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
gonna go check that one out.
You should
for sure.
Chris Erb's a good dude. He runs it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that close to you?
It's not far, actually. No.
Yeah.
It's not
you
far.
should definitely go then. Yeah. Definitely.
And do people hit
That's
that
like
one up and
how I judge every open mic here is like, how far is it from me? Like way more than like. I try to like worry about whether it's going to be good or bad. Because like every mic can be good, but it's probably going to be bad.
Yeah,
except for Stir Crazy, which is probably going to be good, but still can be bad.
Yeah. But at least you got real audience members at Stir Crazy, which is nice.
Most of the time. Every now and then it's like half full and you're like, whew, it can be kind of tough.
Yeah.
Which is like weird because it's still like way more than... Like that room half full is still way more than like most open mics you would ever go to.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
Like something about being in like an empty feeling club can make things tough.
Yeah, it can make you maybe a little more nervous. You think?
Or just like the audience can like feel it and is like weird because something about like when people are packed shoulder to shoulder. I used to do a mic in Oregon that was standing room only.
Oh my gosh!
And then be like it was like a crowded house party, and you would just murder in there.
Oh, like, that's awesome.
Before I was even good at comedy, just is like what kept me going.
That's awesome.
All the time.
That early experience kept you going. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
you're
hope
just like,
more-
oh, I can be funny. I just need to like figure it out.
Yeah, I hope more new comics get those experiences here and there.
Oh, I think it's
driving.
easy here, dude. So
Yeah.
many people go up at stir crazy their first time,
That's
or
true.
within a month of doing
Yeah.
stand up.
Yeah.
It's not that hard for new people to get on at House of Comedy. Like, people don't realize I didn't do a club like my first year of comedy. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising.
Yeah, there wasn't like a club near me.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I remember that.
The closest one was in Portland.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
How
just
far?
like-
That was far
It's
then.
like an hour and 45.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Yeah, it's too. And like, they weren't like, it wasn't like an easy mic to get on there.
Oh, really?
They like, just a ton of comics every week were trying to get on because Portland's a big scene.
Oh,
And they only
is
have
it?
one club.
Oh,
And
that's
the
it.
club only had one mic. So it was like
Oh,
every
geez.
week they had like 200 comics trying to get on like a 30-person list or whatever.
Oh,
or like
wow.
170 people aren't getting on or
Aren't
whatever.
getting on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard. Was it a good
crazy.
room though?
It's sick. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
It's like comparable
awesome.
probably to like Stand Up Live.
Okay, I
or,
got you.
Tempe Improv.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
nice.
like maybe a tiny bit smaller, but
Yeah.
like basically the same thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. There should be more clubs in Portland. There definitely could be, but
They probably have the audience for it.
they do for sure. I don't know. Like, it's just people not wanting to like invest or whatever, you know? Like,
It's probably very
comedy
expensive.
is this weird thing where like it kind of doesn't like make sense. Like, if you're
Yeah.
going to like invest money. So, like, kind of the only people that do it are people who actually care about comedy and then actually have money,
Yeah,
which just isn't that many people.
many
So
people,
it's like
yeah.
pretty hard for a club to pop up, actually.
yeah.
Just a new club just popped up in Eugene, Oregon. Where
Oh, wow.
Olson Run Comedy Club. Go check them out. They're fucking good people. This dude cares so much. The owner Joe, he cares so much about running a good club. And
That's
like you just
awesome.
walk in and everything's perfect and beautiful,
Oh, I
and
love
you
that.
like just feel like it's a good place for comedy.
That's
you know?
nice. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
I'm hoping.
Are you going back up there soon?
Yeah, I'm going to Eureka to a club I'm cool with next week.
Nice.
So I'll be doing that, and then I want to go back to Eugene in like maybe late August or sometime in September. I was just there in May and did guest spots at the new club.
nice.
It's super fun. Yeah,
That's
it's
super fun.
really exciting.
Yeah.
He used to run a show. I did his show back in the day. He used to run a show that was just like in a field by a winery.
Oh, wow.
Like he would book you and be like, "You want to do this show?" And be like, "Yeah, sure, I want to do a show." And he like give you the address, and you show up, and there's just like 100 chairs in a field
Oh, my goodness.
with like a makeshift stage and like a vineyard behind you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What was the sound like then? Because
Like-
it's
yeah,
out
it's
there
pretty.
open.
Yeah, it's like that. You know, you couldn't really hear people laughing. You like
Yeah.
hope they were,
Yeah.
but it feels like you're bombing.
You're looking for their face. to
Yeah,
see if
you're
they're
looking.
laughing.
Yeah, exactly. You're just hoping they're smiling at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If they're doubled over, you don't know if they're just tying their shoe or they're actually laughing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's such a crazy show. They had like Tesla superchargers and a food truck and a vineyard. It's just unlike they'd sell wine. They had a drive-through wine like selling store or whatever.
Like a liquor store drive through.
Yeah,
But it's for wine.
just for their wine.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It's pretty cool.
That
He's
is
a
cool.
cool dude. Yeah, I hope. I'm trying to get like figure out. I don't know. This comedy is such a weird thing. Trying to figure out how to like potentially tour and do more clubs.
Yeah, that would
You
be
know,
cool.
it would be
like
super
how do you
sick.
get
It's kind of
gigs
just
out town?
having relationships with them. Like the club I'm doing in Eureka, it's just like I know the owner and he likes me.
Yeah.
So when I hit him up, he's like, "Sure, dude, come on out." Like,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but how do you get to know all the owners of all
Yeah,
the different clubs
like I
out of
just
town?
right, exactly, and like
Well, don't you sometimes you make friends with another comic and they take you with them sometimes
yeah,
on
that
the
can
road?
happen.
That
for
could happen too.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible. It's but like how to be the comic, you know, that is taking people on the road is important
Yeah,
too. Probably
That would be
Like,
awesome.
people aren't just gonna like drag you along for your whole career. Or, like you don't
true.
want that to be like what you're relying on or like hoping for.
That's true.
Definitely
That's not
don't
a
want to be
goal.
that comic that like I opened for so and so once. And you're
Yeah.
like, cool, opening for someone's like the highlight of your like
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. That always struck me as weird when people would say that. And I get why people would tell people that. It's very cool to open for a comic that's bigger than you.
Yeah, it is.
But it's also like, if you're really trying to do comedy, then like the real game is like, do people know who you are?
Yeah, that's true.
It sucks.
That sucks.
I hate playing the game. It makes me like doubt comedy a lot.
Really?
Where it's like, I'm constantly doing this thing where I worry about my success and like worry about like wanting to turn this into something more, and then realizing I hate everything I have to do to
make
do that
happen.
And realizing like maybe comedy's enough if I just go out. Like there's enough open mics and club shows here that like I can just go out and have fun doing comedy.
Yeah.
And I don't need to worry about like getting my name out there or whatever.
Yeah.
Just enjoy that, like, comedy makes me happy, like, performing it. Like, that's all I really love about it is being on stage trying to make people laugh. Yeah. And I like writing jokes.
I love the writing process, too. That's one of my favorite things.
But I don't like posting reels and clips on Instagram, shit like that.
Yeah. I haven't been doing a lot of that. I
hate, like, sending video out to bookers just to get like rejected or whatever. Like all the busy work sucks and it feels pointless a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm constantly like dialing that back and just being like, just worry about getting better at comedy. And, like you'll know when it's time to focus on that other stuff more.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
That
makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know either.
But like I know for sure it sucks like putting stuff up on Instagram and it gets like I don't know, the last reel I put up got less views than I have followers.
Oh,
and it's just like, okay, so nobody saw this.
Right. And the effort you put in to do the reels.
Yeah, and it just fucking feels shitty. And
but you put your sets out there too as well. Some of your sets.
Sometimes,
you post
not
some
really.
Of your sets, or do you do an original reel for that? Like
just
talking to the camera.
No, I do sets. I'll put out bits.
You put out bits.
Like a bit though. I won't put out like a full 5-minute set, but I'll put out like a minute of a bit. Like
okay,
a bit.
That's cool. I need to do that.
Yeah.
I have a ton of video that I've collected.
It's
over
a good
the last
idea
5
if you have
years.
anything that's like not like offensive or too dirty. That's like strong. Those will do well on Instagram.
Yeah.
It seems like they like kind of hold back anything that's a little crazy or whatever.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that because then, I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to, lose followers because I put something crazy out there.
Yeah. I mean, my theory is that I'm like trying to attract my fan base. Like, I'm not going to stop saying crazy shit or whatever. So it's like the people that like that, enjoy that are the people that need to find me anyways.
That's true. I don't really think I know who my fan base is. I feel like when I'm at a club and I'm doing jokes, I get more laughs from the women.
Yeah.
But I don't really know but then I get laughs from the young people too because they're like, I can't believe this crazy bitch said that. This old bitch said that. You know what I mean? They're like, whoa, that's surprising. It's funny. It's weird when you turn a certain age that when you say crazy shit, it's funny now because of your age instead of like because it was funny. But it's funny on its own too.
Yeah.
But like you can shock people.
But it's part of it's a misdirect where people wouldn't expect you to say something like that.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's good. If you want to make a drinking game out of this podcast, you can take a drink every time I say that makes sense.
If you want to black out.
If you want to black out. Yeah.
Or you can just black out without counting. Let's see. Don't be a dick. What was your other one?
Still go to shows and do your open mics when you're depressed.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Don't let your mental health get in the way. Good luck with that.
I know. It's hard. It's hard. There's times I've been laying in bed and I've been procrastinating and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go in 10 minutes. Okay, if I don't wash my hair, I can go in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Also, though, it's okay to take a night off. Like, a lot of comics are fucking like going out like every night of the week. And like, it's like, it's okay to, especially when it's like summer here.
Yeah.
There's not like going to be anybody at that open mic anyways. It's okay to like stay home and do something fun or.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. Do some self-care.
And like, that's not to say, whatever. People don't need to be told how much they should do comedy or not. But like, for sure, you can like burn yourself out.
Yeah. I think you could.
And I see people do. I see people where it's just like, they're running. Like, you're not you're not coming up with anything new because you're just too caught up in the grind or whatever.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. You got to like calm down.
New experiences are really important. Doing
That's
something you've never done before is way more likely to lead you to writing a new joke than like
that's true.
going to an open mic
That's
or
true.
whatever.
I got to get out there and live life more is what you're saying.
Kind of
Yeah.
like, or I don't know, or read something new on the internet.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I think it is a good idea to get out there and do something new.
I could legit read up and see if there is a study on how many buttholes people have seen.
Yeah, I mean, there probably has been.
Probably has been.
There's got to be like a study on everything by now. Isn't that
exactly.
like weird?
Yeah,
like
that is weird.
The studies they've done that you hear about, where it's just like, oh, we figured out which cereal has the most heavy metals in it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Or whatever it is.
That could you could get a joke out of that for sure.
Yeah.
I think so. I saw this comic do a set about how they try to figure out if squirting is pee by using blue dye. Put it in their, bladders.
That comic watches Joe Rogan, I'll tell you that.
Oh, does he really? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I was like, okay. You could just eat asparagus and know the same thing.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good joke.
It is. I'm working on it. Yeah, it's part of my squirting joke that I'll never do on a real club.
Does squirting ever spell like asparagus?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably. I bet it does.
I bet it does.
Yeah, we should figure this out.
We need to find out some females that are comics that are squirters and have them do a test.
It's not everybody a squirter. It just is like.
No.
Oh, really? I thought it was like.
It's unique.
I thought like anybody could squirt it. It just had to be like a certain situation or whatever. But
that's true. But there are some women that never squirt their whole lives.
Huh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So there you go.
You're learning something new every day.
We're so educational.
Yeah. What time is it? I mean, I got somebody coming in here. Okay, we probably should wrap this up. Do you have anything you want to plug?
I do have stuff to plug. I'm so excited. So on August 20th, I'm doing the Comedy Jones show at House of Comedy.
Shout out to Louis Jones, a.k.a. Gimmick.
Gimmick. I know. I never would know whether to call him Gimmick or Louis Jones, but I guess Louis Jones works too.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I like calling him Louis, but
yeah, and he did put.
I call him
Maria
Gimmick too, though.
On the flyer, he put Vera Maria instead of just Vera, which I liked.
So yeah, call him Louis Jones if he's not gonna give you your nickname.
My nickname. There you go. And then on August 28th, I'm doing Mic Drop Mania, which was actually one of my goals. So like one of my goals was to do every stage in the Valley, and I've done every stage in the Valley except Mic Drop.
Cool.
So I'm doing that one on August 28th on the Ready or Not show.
That'd be awesome. Shout out to Philip, Jewel, and Dietrich. Is that right?
I don't remember. I think Philip's the one that
Shout
reached
out Philip.
to me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Philip.
Right on. Go follow Vera. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the fuck up. You guys missed a lot of good shit. I'll tell you that. But, fuck you or whatever.